Hey everybody, welcome to Church at Home with Rachel for Feel Good Friday, the 23rd of June. Today, I'm about to enter into a stinking busy weekend. This weekend in Wainwright, Alberta is Stampede Weekend, and my church in Wainwright, St. Thomas, has a food booth. And it's a massive, this is our big fundraiser for the year. And it's a really hopping place, and it's a great place for ministry of presence. So I will be hawking food. I was selling burgers and corn dogs and or pogo dogs, what they're called, and tacos in a bag and homemade pie and poutine. That's a very Canadian thing. French fries with gravy and cheese. I don't necessarily like poutine myself. And also on Sunday, so I'll be working it today, Saturday and Sunday. I'll be doing shifts. I am this evening going to go to Bruce, a little town called Bruce, here about an hour away from Wainwright, to go to the Bruce Steakhouse. Oh my heavens. Alberta beef is really awesome. And the Bruce Steakhouse is absolutely amazing. And one of Rob's Padres is being posted to another base in Canada. And so this is our night to say goodnight to him and say farewell and good luck. And so we're going to be spending the evening having incredible steak and all the fixins. And then tomorrow, working at the food booth and getting ready for Sunday, because in addition to working at the food booth on Sunday, I will also be participating in an ecumenical worship service at that we're going to host for the first time at the Stampede, and we'll see how it goes. It may be an epic fail, meaning that it might be a disaster, but we'll have fun doing it. It's going to be hosted by my Anglican Church and by the United Church and by the Church of the Nazarenes, and we're going to have some fun. So it's going to be busy, busy, busy. In the meantime, in all of that, it also is my birthday tomorrow. I will be a whopping grand age of 52 years old. It feels like I'm 32, so I'm not entirely sure where I lost 20 years. But thinking about Feel Good Friday and thinking about this weekend, really thinking, one of these days I'd really like to just have an easy day, a day like a birthday when I can just sit back and relax, and Rob could wait on me hand and foot and make me meals and breakfast in bed and a fancy lunch and a beautiful dinner, and I could read my book. I'm currently reading this book by Andrew Greeley, The Senator and the Priest, and I love Andrew Greeley. He's writes mystery novels. He was a Roman Catholic priest, and is incredible. I also have my Tim Hortons donut and my Tim Hortons steeped tea. So after I record this, I'm going to take 15 minutes to eat my donut, drink my tea, and read my book, and then get to work because there's so much to do. Probably also have a funeral coming up in the next couple of days. So just, so running around busier than a one-armed paper hanger. However, that's not the feel-good part. The feel-good part is the idea of birthdays. For lots of people, birthdays are like those things they dread. You get that point where you sort of hit a certain age, and it's like, after a while, it's like you're 16, now you can drive. You're 18 in Canada, now you can vote. 19 in most provinces, now you can drink. Like all of those things that you're sort of looking forward to. And then there's people dread, they're turning 30 or they're turning 40 or turning 50. I never really dreaded birthdays so much. Sometimes they've been better than others. Sometimes they've been kind of like yuck. Over the years, but for the most part, I don't worry too much about them. Quite often, they just sort of happen and they pass by. Rob usually forgets about it, so it's not like much gets celebrated. But I was thinking the other day about when I turned 13, and I read this book on my off time. It was like Harlequin for kids kind of book for teenage girls, and it was The Year of the Clara. That was the name of the book, and it was based on this girl. She turned 13, and she decided that, like the year of the dragon, the year of the rat, things like that from the Chinese astrology, she was going to make her year the year of the Clara. That was her name. And she was going to do everything she could possibly do to make that the best year ever. Well, I read that book when I turned 13, and I was heading into grade 8, and I decided I was going to make that year, 1984, the year of the Rachael. I was going to make sure I had a great year. And you know what I did? I had a person in my life who was very important to me. We kept it quiet. No one knew about it till graduation dance, and then we broke up. That's sort of the way things work. But I made the honor roll all 3 terms at school, the dean's list, all 3 terms at school. I came in as the runner-up for the Reach for the Top tournament, which was like a trivia tournament. I came in second for the spelling bee, for the grade 8 spelling bee. I I discovered that I could actually do public speaking. I had been terrified of public speaking. And in grade 8, our teacher, Mrs. Reed, made us do every week, we had to do these little 1 minute speeches. We could do them off the top of our heads, kind of like I'm doing this, or we could write them out. And I would laboriously write them out. So like every Thursday night, I'd sit at my desk and I would write out one. And I remember one of them started Leafs, Maple, Toronto. If that sounded backwards, that's because that's the way they're playing. And I talked about how the Toronto Maple Leafs were playing bass backward and they weren't having a good year. I mean, and since they haven't won a Stanley Cup since 1967, I'm not a Leafs fan. I'm a Montreal Canadiens and Edmonton Oilers fan. And we haven't done so well in the last few years either. But anyway, word is Carey Price, for those hockey fans, apparently Carey Price might be back next year playing goalie for the Montreal Canadiens. That would be like the ultimate. I digress. Anyway, so I made that year the year of the Rachael, and I won the citizenship award for my class. I got the academic award for my class. I had a really great year. And it's not necessarily because I did really well in school and stuff. And that wasn't because I'm brilliant. It's because I actually applied myself. I made a decision that I was going to have a good year. And that meant trying hard. And I did things I normally wouldn't do. I tried out for the volleyball team and I was the last person cut. And you know what? I felt successful. Because normally I wouldn't have the guts to try out for anything. I was so scared of not being good enough that I wouldn't even try. And so I tried my best and I did my best and I came close. I didn't make it, but I didn't feel like I quit. I felt like that was a success. And I really, really, that whole year, everything I did, I really, none of it was easy. It's not like all of a sudden I just snapped my fingers and the year of the Rachel took off and it was like I was doing this and I was doing this and I doing this. It's like, no, I was doing this. I was working hard. I was working hard at my homework. I was paying attention in class. I was doing extra work just to make sure I understood things. I was really proud of myself. And for the first time in my life, the first time in 13 years, I actually believed in myself. And I think that was the key. When we actually believe in ourselves and leave behind those things that other people, like the other day I said, I was told when I was a kid I couldn't sing, and for years I still labor under this I can't sing myth. There's a big difference in believing that you cannot do something and believing that you can. And it has a lot to do with self-worth and self-esteem. When you believe that you can do something, it gives you the courage to try. You may not survive, may not succeed. I was going to say you may not survive. Well, you may not survive either, but that would be a different story. You may not succeed in doing what you thought. You may say, I'm going to teach myself to run a marathon. And you may not actually run the marathon, the 27 miles or whatever it is a marathon is, in that year that you set out to do it. But if you have, buy yourself the running shoes and you go out every day and you run and you get to the point where you can run 12 or 13 miles without stopping, you may not have succeeded in running a marathon. But if you are a sedentary person or you never ran a step in your life before that, you have totally succeeded. You have given yourself enough self-esteem and enough self-worth that you've tried something you could not do before and now you can. And I think that's what the beauty of a birthday is. It's an opportunity. It's just this arbitrary day when our mothers gave birth to us and we didn't have any choice in it, and whoa, big deal. However, we can reclaim it. We can say to ourselves, this is the moment when I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to take a look at this next 365 days and say, what can I accomplish? What are my goals? What are my dreams? Is there something that's so far out there, pie in the sky, that I could never actually attain it? What might that be and how might it work? So I'm going to do that. I'm going to make a decision, and right now I have been thinking for a long time. I love to write. I write sermons and things like that. And in my head, I want to write a book. And I keep thinking I'm going to write a book when I retire. And this way I'm going, I'm going to retire when I'm 90. So I don't know about the book yet. But what I am going to do, I thought a lot about, and I've been thinking about this for a long time, my dog Dude. For all the antics he got into and the things we did over 9 years, the nicknames we had for him, I always thought I should write a children's book. I should write some books about Dude. So my goal, and I'm putting it out there so you can hold my feet to the fire, my goal is that between now and June 23rd of 2024, the day before my 53rd birthday, I am going to write a children's book about Dude. I don't know whether it'll be Dude the Prince of Armdale, the Rectory Rover, El Duderino. It could be Dude and Mooches. I don't know, but I am going to write a children's story, a children's book about Dude. And I don't know what I'll do with it, but that will be my plan. I will write a book about Dude in the next year. And it may seem like, well, a children's book, what is it, 15, 20 pages? How difficult can it be? Well, I have a feeling it's probably more difficult than I want to think about. However, if I put myself to it, I will do it. And that is my plan for this year. Maybe I'll accomplish more than that. Maybe I will try hard and I'll fail epically. But I'm going to try. If I fail, it's because I'll go down in flames because I tried hard. We have the opportunity, whether it's our birthday or just the random, it's Tuesday, whatever day of the week it might be, whatever month it might be, we have the opportunity to say to ourselves, today, I'm going to try on a new attitude, the way you try on a new dress or a new shirt. I'm going to try it on and see what it looks like. If I like it, I'll keep it. If I don't like it, I'll put it back on the rack. Today, I'm going to try, this year, my 52nd year, I am going to try to put on a new attitude. I am going to declare this the year of the Rachael, and I'm going to see what I can get accomplished. Can I work toward writing a book about Dude? Can I figure out how to do better with church at home? Can I be a better priest, a better archdeacon? Can I be a better wife and friend? I don't know, but I'm going to try. This will be an opportunity to see what happens. And I'm glad that I'll have you along for the ride as well. What might God be calling you to do? Or what might, if you don't believe in God, what might the universe be calling you to do with your future? What are you called to try on in your own life? What will make you feel good about yourself? What will make you feel good when you look in the mirror and say, hey, yeah, that's me. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty darn cool. And that's okay. No one else has to think it, as long as I do. What makes you feel good about you? And don't tell me nothing. Because if you tell me nothing, then you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to bug you until you come up with something you can begin to work with. Because every one of you who is watching this is an incredible, amazing miracle of life. And there is something absolutely unique and incredible and beautiful about you. The thing is, you're the one who has to find it. You're the one who has to truly believe that you are beautiful. And this can be the year of the you as well. Thanks for hanging out with me for Feel Good Friday. Sunday, Gospel on the Go, will be a little bit like last week's because I'm not preaching formally. No sermon prepared because I won't be in my three churches. But I will do some sort of an off-the-cuff sermon in preparation for this Sunday's Elks Hall Ecumenical Service with the Wainwright Ministerial. So I hope to see you on Sunday for Gospel on the Go, and of course on Monday for Church at Home with Rachael. Have a great day. God bless you, and pray for me. Now that I've promised that I'm going to write this book about Dude, now I'm a little bit nervous because I've sent it out into the YouTube universe, and you're going to hold me to it, right? Have a great day. God bless. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you later.